Good morning, cyber traders. Happy Wednesday. Good to see you, Mark. How's everybody doing? Excellent to see everybody this morning. Good to see you, Bob. Everybody on YouTube, Facebook, welcome back. Sorry about the little camera. Hopefully that didn't hurt anybody. Good to see you, Lori. So anyway, market's dead. Market is so dead. I know this is like the last Fed meeting until the end of the year. So I guess everybody's got, nobody wants to do anything. Just shows you how powerful the Fed is, and see how everything works out. Listen, the market obviously taking some big hits. Not that major, but just a little bit came down a little bit yesterday. I told you going into December, thinking of trying to do some type of swing trading is going to be quite difficult. Trying to catch some of these, opportunities. Maybe there's the rally, maybe it comes back, whatever it is. But just be very careful on your swing trades unless you got a really, really good deal on a stock that you like, that you always want to buy, whatever. But I don't really kind of do anything other than, there's a couple of stocks that I have, and just look at them into January. So, but day trading, obviously we had a couple of good stocks that made some big moves yesterday. We'll talk a little about those, and then we'll touch base and show you what's moving this morning. First of all, I'd like to start off with AMC. So we talked a lot about AMC yesterday. AMC has been taking a very, very big hit. If you could watch it, listen, it was getting crushed in pre-market. Let me bring this up a little bit higher so you guys could see it. It came down, and then all of a sudden, look at the volume on the bottom. These volume bars. I mean, all of a sudden, things just really took off. Went from that $20 and $50 all the way up to $24.40, and then you could see it right around that time when we kind of like don't really want to do too much. Around that time, the stock started dying out. What time was that? That was around 10 o'clock, okay, and 10:30. Then pretty much it was kind of teeter-tottering. So that one worked out pretty good for a lot of us trading that AMC, and I know some of us chased it. One thing I hope everybody learned a valuable lesson. But even Josh did a trade. And when he did his trade, he was short, and he covered his short. And good thing he covered it, because he would have got really hit pretty hard. And, it's very easy to take a small loss. It's very difficult to take a big loss. And remember, our biggest thing we teach you here, like I mentioned to you during the market hours, we don't teach you how to make money. We teach you how to stop losing it. Once you know how to learn to take care of those losers, the winners always take care of themselves. That's everyone's biggest issue. And he proved it yesterday, with discipline, how to trade that one. A couple of stocks that are rolling in from yesterday that are coming in again, not going to be in today's watch list. Grtx. So Grtx, if you look at that stock right there, stock had some pretty good volatility. You could see the stock got really beat up here on the long-term chart. Stock was literally down to $1.30, gapped up pretty big up to the $2. Had a little bit of a move, not super, but you had to trade a lot of shares of it. You could see stock trade 16 million shares. As of right now, it is a gap fill. All right. So, and we talked about this yesterday, resistance levels are right at 6. Now it's 3 to 6, a very big difference. But what happens? It's in uncharted territories. No one really owns at these prices, and that's what causes those big little run-ups. So that one's going back on the watch list. Another one, ALZN, is another one that is going back on the watch list too. So ALZN, right here, ALZN. Had a nice little push yesterday. You can see it right here, how the stock obviously had a nice little trend. It wasn't nothing crazy. I mean, but what was nice about this one was the last 30 minutes of the close. You could see volume really kicked up, and it had a nice little move from $2.90 all the way up to about $3. Did a little bit of a shake right here, right around that 316, and then obviously made its big run. But you could see these volume bars down at the bottom. I mean, you could see, look at this. This is pretty cool. So you could see this stock it traded 153 million shares. Really didn't do that much of a dent though. It went from like 230 to about 330, and then and yesterday did what, about 57 million. So it takes a lot to move that stock. And even like today, in pre-market, we trade 660,000 shares. So regarding about other stocks that we're looking at, so the one that a lot of us been focusing on this morning happened to be this GMTX. Now, GMTX also took a very big hit from 17 all the way down to about 250. One of the first days that are up. You got some nice resistance levels right around here, around 340. I'm seeing a 55,000 share seller and a 46,000 share seller in the level 4. So they just kind of showed up right around 830. Meaning it's going to be pretty bit much of a big resistance. I think on my level 4 is working again. Not really seeing any big buyers up until about $3. So, it's got good volume. It's good level 1. If you're an advanced trader, you could trade several thousand shares of it. You don't have a problem getting out of it. We know about the Grtx. That was from yesterday. And SCAC is another one that had some really nice movers the last couple of days. We traded the stock. It was at 75 cents, ran to $1.70. And no, this is not a penny stock. We don't trade penny stocks here. Just happen to be people think anything under $1 is a penny. I don't trade anything under $1, but once it broke $1, you could see the thing had some really good movement. She's moving again this morning. Pretty damn volatile stock, honestly. You could see what it did yesterday. It went from $1.80. You can see these candlesticks. Boom. Thing drops about 20 cents. But just be very careful with it. It was more of a nickels and dimes yesterday, and that's what we got. Now, there's a couple of stocks I put on the B and the C list. You had ECC, SSC. There's another stock that moved pretty nicely yesterday. You could see here on the long-term chart, the stock went from $10 to $27. Stock had a really good push at 11 o'clock, ran from about $10. $18 all the way to 26, and then all of a sudden she was a phenomenal short. I don't know if she was on your short. Once it broke this $17, in the middle of the day, it was a great. That was basically all we had, but that one did pretty well. It's holding here pretty strong. Let's see how it works out, but you could see the tier size is very, very small. And remember, it's not about buying the stock, it's getting it, okay? And getting it is if no one's selling any shares, you got to remember, you got to focus on that spread. So that one's moving. It's not that we're going to trade it, but Roblox is obviously taking a big hit. It's got a really nice short going on. You know what? I was a fan of Roblox when it was in the 70s. It went to the 80s. And then I got out of it, and I'm like, how does this thing go to 137? If you really know what this company does, it's like, wow, that's a lot of money for that stock. But obviously, if it breaks this $100, the stock can drop all the way down to 87. So once again, a little bit more advanced stock. So if you're a advanced trader here at Cyber Trading, that might be up your alley. Another stock that did pretty good in the after hours was this Cfvi. Big push right here, right at the close. She's kind of holding here, been pretty volatile. We traded the last couple of days, went from 10 to 15. Very, very volatile stock. Very small tier sizes, automatically category 3. So if you know what level you're at, that's what that's going to show up. And then obviously I threw the ALZN back on the watch list. So you can see it. It's not really a big, good day. The market's at 13. 13? Are you kidding me? That's it. That shows you there's nothing going on right now. But does not mean that the day's over. We always find some things that move. So my goal is just focus on the day's pay, and that's it. That's what you have to look at. You can look at the DWAC also. I want to throw on there. She had a nice pop, and I don't know what happened after hours, but this stock has just been a hell of a roller coaster. Just be very careful on the swing trade. I made money on the swing, and then I got out of it. But she's been pretty damn volatile the last 3-4 last week. So we'll keep an eye on that. Alex says, I agree on the day's pay. Otherwise, one can throw away gains. I know I have done it. Well, Alan, we've all been there. We all have done it. Okay. You just got to be very, just don't think like, oh, this is the big one. We saw what happened to AMC yesterday. Just be happy you got what you got out of it. Being here for so long, our list is always like 10, 15 deep going into pre-market. Now we're talking 2, 3 deep. This is perfectly normal. It's a great time to learn. You just don't go out there and get too cocky. All right, guys. One last stock that Rich, one of the instructors here, just posted a stock was QNR. Was it X? Yeah, well, it's got a little bit of a movement right now, 57%. It looks like it just made a pop just now. Volume just picked up. As of right now, it doesn't look too tradable. It went all the way to 7. Thing only dropped down to 5, but we'll throw this on the B list too. And we all know that some of these things out of nowhere just pop out of the blue. So we throw that on. Thanks a lot for that, Rich. Everybody else, we'll be back here at 2:30 if you're watching YouTube, Facebook Live. And don't forget, if you haven't got the email, Friday is going to be one of the biggest events of the month and the year on Trade with the Pros. You're going to be meeting some of the best masterminds, best gurus in the industry. So if you haven't registered yet for that, be happy to. And if you're new here to Cybertrade University and you are doing a trial, please make sure you talk to your education advisor. Let them do a walkthrough with you so you can explain to you so you can have the best experience to see if trading is for you, because it might not be, and that's not a bad thing. But if it is, best job you probably ever find. So you got to learn before you can earn. Good luck, everybody. We'll start commentating in the Cyber Group room when the market opens up. If you're watching YouTube, Facebook Live, we'll be back here at 2:30.